Good morning, guys. Coach Theo here on Common Sense. Today, we'll be talking about the plague of chasing external validation from girls. It's something guys bring up to me quite often since I'm on this Volcel path while looking like this, by the way. I've been in a voluntary celibacy for, well, it's actually less than 2 weeks until it's gonna have been 5 years. But so guys, bring this up to me. Either some don't even bring it up to me. I just see this old mechanism in guys that I used to have myself. But a lot of guys actually ask because either it does get in the way. They notice this need for attention and validation and hooking up with girls that they have. And either it gets, they prioritize that so it gets in the way of other things. You know, if they're gonna get their shit together, habits, fitness, health, going to bed on time and that. Well, if it's so important to get external validation from sleeping with a girl and she wants to go out and stay up late and you're drinking, well, then you do that and then you ruin all your other stuff, right? But also, a lot of guys bring it up just from a place of it's just not nice to go around feeling as if I'm lacking this from women all the time. There's this thing, even if I don't go out on dates or try to hook up all the time, just going around feeling like this and thinking about, oh, what do girls think about me and stuff. It's not exactly a powerful position to go around feeling insecure about women as if you'd need something from them to feel all right? So we're gonna get into it, but first I want to say, it's often hard for people to not be black and white, right? That's what I try to do here, bring some nuance and make you understand that it depends on the context and ratio and balance of something, right? So external validation in and of itself, there's nothing wrong with appreciating that. It's just this external validation seeking behavior that's no good. And also what you actually get then, it isn't actually like truly what you get when you just get validated in a good way. Like I'm gonna come to it. Like me, for instance, it used to be with girls that I didn't quite understand. In fact, I didn't understand it at all back then. But I felt this huge need to sleep with girls. And I noticed it without thinking of it in a toxic way. I noticed that I gained my self-worth from hooking up with girls, right? And it's very interesting because I've noticed that with guys that've been doing that life, you know, partying and sleeping around with girls, there's kind of roughly two different kinds. One is just more of a general hedonist. It's not so much about the validation from the girls, right? It's more that it's just another pleasurable activity that they like to indulge in. While for someone like myself, it's like, of course, you are a hedonist and you enjoy that part too, but so much of it is just the feeling of, yes, she gave me this, like she let me sleep with her. So for me, I noticed it didn't even have to be actual sex in order for me to get what was the biggest need for me, which wasn't the actual sexual one like that. It was just knowing that this girl would, like, I'm worthy. I made myself worthy enough so that she would be willing to do something with me, right? So I'll take examples. I'd feel similarly if I was talking to a girl and I got her to send me like nudes or something. It's something I did a lot back in the day. It's just funny to think about those things now. But also, for instance, let's say I'm in some kind of party situation and I like kiss this girl. And I know she's into me and we would have sex, but logistically it's not going to work out. Well, I didn't feel too bad about it because I was like, well, I got my validation that I needed, right? Funny thing is that in my old toxic worldview, as a nihilist really, that can't see any meaning to the world, the only thing I could come up with was like biology. And so to me it made sense somehow. Well, that's a goal with reproduction, which happens through sex, right? So it would make sense that you feel as if you're like succeeding when you hook up with girls, because that's like, the goal as an animal. Like biological animal reproducing. Funny thing is, you're not even reproducing, right? So like you're doing that act, but you're not having children all over the place. It doesn't really hold up for this reason, but also, of course, you understand that just because you like should get a girl and create a family and stuff, it is not the same as that it makes sense that you go around and feeling low self-worth when you're not hooking up with girls, right? There's something not good with you. There's one thing, it's a different thing to need something, to have like a tendency that you want. Like me now, Volcel, I have a sexual like urge, desires, needs like that, but I just don't have it in this way. Like, I just need it to feel okay. Even that, I'll say though, at my weakest, if I have a really bad period and feel bad, that's when those old things come up the most, because it was one of my biggest copes in like gaining self-worth by hooking up with girls. So I never act on it now, but you see, it's very clear that it sat deep for me. And because it's not the topic really, I want to get to the point more about external validation. But if you recognize yourself as this kind of person, you should be thinking about your relationship to your mother. Even if you think you have the best mom in the world and she's always been nice and kind, and like that might be what you consciously think, but unconsciously, your mother screwed you up. So you felt the lack of love from the feminine, and you're trying to make up for it. Now by hooking up with girls. But so the external validation, there's nothing wrong with that in and of itself, right? Like I tried, there's a balance with everything, and the goal is to be able to validate yourself from within the most. Like that's lack. That's when you don't feel validated from within, you're not impressed by yourself, you don't respect yourself from the actions you take, you talk to yourself in a nasty way, you don't get any validation from within, and that's why you feel this huge deficit, and you're looking for it so actively in other places, like from girls, right? But we are social creatures, right? There's nothing wrong with like enjoying the response you get from your environment, people around you, or using that as just information. Because external validation, when you're not chasing it and you're just getting it for things that you do, that is like a confirmation that something is good, right? Of course, technically, if you do something stupid, a lot of people could cheer you on for that. But I'm saying like this. Let's say I start training and working on myself. I look better. I feel more confident just from the person I'm becoming. I'm noticing more attention from girls, more positive attention from girls. Well, you see that wasn't my goal, but it feels good. Because this like, yeah, I'm changing. I'm making a positive change here. Clearly I can see that in these responses I get from the girls around me here. So that feels good. It's nothing bad with that. However, if I go into it completely, I want to try, I have to look good for girls. I go around looking, do I get the attention? Does anyone like me more now that I'm ripped? It's a completely different thing. But also, the point being is that when you're looking for validation, it's just like a drug. It's not real. Because if I don't try to gain validation from someone, but I'm just getting it. It's like on this channel. I'll give an example about that too. But I'm not here to tell all for you guys to tell me what a badass I am, how great physique I am, oh wow, your mindset, oh you're so wise, Theo. No, I'm putting it out because, well, I believe those things myself. I think that you can become those things by listening to me, but it is for helping you. That's the reason I'm putting it out. But so when I get good response from you guys, I feel good about it because it confirms that I'm in the right? And that's been that's why I'm telling when external validation can be good. And when this channel has been smaller and things have been slower, and sometimes you feel like, do I even make a difference? Does anyone even see what I do? And then the small little comments that would say something like, well, man, you've really taken me through a hard time, or your advice about this really helped up, like, thanks so much, or you're a really great guy, maybe even commenting on me and the story, what I've gone through, right? That's like, it's like positive external. When I'm not seeing and I'm wondering, I'm not sure, it's not necessarily about insecurity. It's like just in front of me with my channel there. Is someone even seeing this? Am I helping anyone at all? I'm not getting it, But so that's great, external validation. That's like, yes, now I want to keep going, not to get more external validation, but the external validation confirmed that I'm actually doing some of the things I want to do here. So what I mean is that if you, like my old self, go on a date, you have, of course, some part of you're going to talk about things you're interested, but in a little bit you put on a persona, you think you should act in a way to be attractive, all these, like, game, kino, banter, all the shit, right? So you're putting on a fake persona. You manage to somehow impress another fake insecure person, because that's what you got to realize. Insecure people can only fool fake people can only fool other fake people. The more confident and real authentic, the more you just pick up on people's fakeness, and it repels you, right? But so I'm not really, that I'm faking myself, that I'm an insecure individual putting on a show to trick another insecure individual into feeling something for me, and we have sex. Me as a person was not really validated, right? The only thing being validated here is that I could somehow have sex with this girl, but it says really nothing about me and who I am, right? And let me think. No, so you see, someone like my previous self, you go around in a circle feeling low self-worth because you are not being your authentic self. No matter what you consciously think, you just don't see yourself as a good a person, right? So you're looking for external validation, and by hooking up, you put on a show. You never really work on your shit. It's just you keep proving to yourself that this front I put up can fool someone else's front, and you get a temporary high from this. But you have a permanent deficit of self-worth. You don't love yourself, right? So it's very quickly gonna come back. I'm just trying to, I'm thinking how I want to put it. Like, okay, this is how I'll end it. This it used to be like that for me. It's always a plan. You need to have some plans, talking to some girls, to hooking up, because, if it goes too long, I mean, I'm probably feeling bad about myself in my life anyway, but this little thing, it needs a way project, so I can get my little external validation dose once in a while. So when I come out on the other side of this panic attack phase I went through, and I start changing training and all that, now I'm getting so much validation from within, right? I don't need anyone to tell me that I look good or that I'm strong and that, because I've proven all those things to myself. So that's why this need for external validation from girls just went away from me, this attention-seeking behavior like that, to get it. However, I very much enjoyed throughout these years, like when I noticed that I'm more attractive to girls. Again, that's just an external confirmation that, yes, you have been doing better. Like when you're not even chasing and trying it away now, and you notice sometimes that you get looked at in a better way, clearly you have improved, right? It's, you see what I mean? That it's funny. So many times what you were chasing as an insecure individual, the ways you went about it made you impossible to truly get it. When you just start acting in a secure way, doing things for the right reasons and motivations, you can now enjoy these other things at a healthy level, right? I'll say this too. That with external validation, that's how it should be seen. When it's not something you're actively chasing like this, all it is confirmation. It's like, at this point, when guys just generally compliment me on my physique, I mean, it triggers some degree, some percent of like good feels. But at this point, that's so much. I look at it like, yes, I look freaking amazing. I know how much it took for me to do that. No one else looks like this, like not literally, but you see, most people. I am aware that I have an amazing physique. It's like I don't need much from the outside to hear that. But let's say a weak point, like forearms has been a weak point, and I haven't necessarily felt insecure about that. But I've been meaning to bring them up, and I've been training them. And now lately, I got a few comments from guys commenting on my forearms specifically when I don't put them out there to like chase the validation. And then I can like that's clearly confirmation, because maybe I get a little blind to my progression. Just hearing that farmer forearms, bro, it's like, oh, right, that it must be working, right? So just to not make this video too long, I'll end it here, guys. But the beautiful, that's the thing. Don't feel bad about that you like when you get positive attention from girls. Of course, that's a positive thing. But it's because you're feeling bad about yourself that you're hungry, seeking this. And I'm telling you, you're never going to find what you're seeking truly, because that you find within. Okay, so I'll just end it here. So please like and comment, guys. Always interested to hear your thoughts. I do holistic bodybuilding coaching. We work on ourselves, body, mind, and soul, getting jacked and stacked mentally, physically, spiritually. You become that individual who looks amazing, just gets validated for who they are, not because they try to make up a persona that people maybe can validate a bit. So if you're interested in becoming the best version of yourself with my assistance, you can send a DM on Instagram or email me. It's in the description below. I'll get back to you with my different options. I have my Uncommon Sense bodybuilding book too, for those that want to start a little lighter. It's training, mindset stuff that goes along with it. And if you just want to support me and get access to some exclusive content, there's the Patreon now. The $8 per month tier gets you access to everything. And there is an episode waiting on Patreon already that's called Relationship to Self. There's a lot to do with what I talked about in this video, but just wider. But it's a lot about your relationship to you and how, if you validate yourself or not, right? And please subscribe for more content about fitness, fasting, losing weight, building muscle, self-improvement, stoicism, mental health, philosophy, spirituality, mindset. It is a mindset, guys. You know, get validated, but not because you tried to. Not because you're trying to get validated, because you have tried to be the best. And external validation just proves that you are. Peace.